Community Motors West Side, the GM Superstore next to Cinema West. Community Motors of Mason City, we give you more.
It's Tuesday, November 8th, 9:45 a.m. We have scheduled regular board of sessions of the supervisor meeting, which we have an agenda in the minutes to approve. So I would formally accept.
Motion to approve today's agenda in the minutes of the meeting of November 1st.
All right.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and second to approve today's agenda and the minutes of the past meeting of the 1st of November. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Old business? I have none.
None.
Okay. First of all, we have under new business, the line item is our county engineers, and we have one engineer. I said engineers, but you do the work of many.
Sure.
So that's why I pluralized that. Okay, with that, you have the floor.
All right. We are ready for the snow. That's scheduled to come tonight. Hopefully it will pass, but we are ready to go. They got the snow equipment on and whatnot, so we're good there.
Okay.
We posted and advertised in the paper for that secondary road position, and Tom says the applications are in, so there's approximately 40 applications. So we'll.
Is it closed? Is that closed now?
Yeah.
Closed at 4:30 yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be going through those and probably start interviewing next week, I would suppose. And then we have a culvert on Vine between 330th and 340th, and it is settling, and we took a look at it and it looks like the culvert's run. We're going to try to get that replaced this winter, or before winter. We got the culvert on order, and hopefully we can do that so we don't have to worry about it throughout the winter. And then probably post it with some loose gravel signs, and then patch it next year. And that's on Vine, south of 340th there. And we are.
Like an old concrete one.
It's an old metal culvert.
Oh,
The bottom is rotten.
Oh,
they
it's
get
from the other
rotten
end
from
down.
the
Then
water.
the concrete, the roof goes off, or the top. It's just one or the other.
So, yeah, it shouldn't be too bad to replace. We're going to replace it with a concrete culvert, and they have the culvert in stock, but they don't have the apron sections and stuff. So.
Flares.
So it'll probably be a couple weeks, but we're going to try to get that done yet this fall. And then we are working on the S14 resurfacing plans to finish that project up, and then working on B20 plans for reconstruction. Might look at doing that in 2 3-mile projects instead of 1 6-mile project due to costs. So we're still looking at that. That's all I have to report on. And then second item on the agenda I have for your signature is the final pay voucher for the bridge rehabilitation project just west of North Springs. That project's been done, physically been done, and now we're just working on finalizing the paperwork, the administrative side of it. So that's the final pay voucher to get the contractor paid, essentially his retainage.
Okay.
So.
And everything's got reconciled, and
Yep.
it's all good. I've been over it. Wouldn't even know it's just like always like it has been. Good. I mean, not prior. I mean, it's just. It's better.
Yes.
There we go. That's what. No, but it's it's not like you got flashing lights and you got detours. And you get over it. It's all good.
It's good.
Motion to authorize you to sign the pay voucher for the bridge rehabilitation.
All right.
Second.
All right, so motion and second to authorize the chair to sign the final pay voucher for the bridge rehabilitation project at North Springs. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Any other questions or concerns to bring to Mary at this time? I have none.
Are you cleaning around intakes and stuff in the ditches around?
They have been.
Looks like somebody's doing it down my way.
Somebody's been mowing over our intakes, so.
Oh.
Yeah. we've been replacing some, and the one person who mowed over them, we contacted him and he said he would replace them, and then somebody else had. And somebody, the adjacent other farmer, put some temporary covers over it that we have to replace. Yeah, we've been cleaning some of those out.
Okay. Good, I've seen some.
All right. Okay,
That's all I got.
all right. Well, thank you, Mary.
Thanks.
We'll be moving along under the county auditor's line item. The first one we have is claims, and
The claims are here for your consideration this morning.
Mr. Chairman, at this time I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented and have it signed where appropriate.
Second.
okay, so motion and second to authorize the chair's signature on the claims presented this morning. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, the auditors, are you busy with the vote? Oh, that's
Yeah,
sure.
we are.
Did everything go as you got opened up? And there-
Everything's off to a good start, yes.
Good. Okay. Second line item, payroll.
There are no payroll items this morning.
Okay.
The drainage items I've got, there's two of them. Drainage District 31, Mary Ann and Lauren Payne have reported a washout. It's been flagged. And just this morning, Larry Herman said that Larry Kalki in Drainage District 67 had reported some holes in tile in DD 67. So 31 and 67.
Okay.
At this time I'll make a motion to have Larry Thurman investigate the two reports of problem.
Second.
It's been motioned and second to have Larry look into Drainage District 31 and, or 35 and 31 and 67. 56, or 67. I've got a bunch of stuff here that didn't come out the way I wrote it. Huh? Okay, with that, we'll have Larry Fearman investigate that. All in favor? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, thank you. 31 and 67. Okay. Anything else in?
Nothing more on drainage, but I've got the clerk's monthly and sheriff's monthly reports of fees that are all in order for your consideration this morning.
This time,
Go ahead.
this time we'll make a motion to approve the clerk's monthly fees collected and the sheriff's monthly fees collected.
Okay.
Second.
All right, it's been motion and second to approve and accept the clerk's and sheriff's monthly report of fees. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Number 6, to approve the auditor's transfers of funds. Do you have,
Yes,
Background.
these would be done by resolution. It's two transfers. One is in the amount of $925,000 from the Rural Services Fund to the Secondary Road Fund. And the other one is the amount of $695,533.50 from the General Basic Fund to the Public Health Fund. And by resolution, it's right there for you.
Motion to approve resolution 2011, number 99, transfer of funds.
I'll second resolution 2011 number 99.
okay. With that, it's been motion and second in favor of the transfer of funds through the auditor's department using resolution number 99. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, letter C, or CPC, or Central Point of Coordination Coordinator is Bob Lincoln, and you have the floor to discuss said change where we as a county have a multi-county share Bob's position with, well, you have the floor. You can give a little background. It's kind of a unique situation, and take a moment to explain.
Yes, this request for reclassification is part of our continuing restructuring around the vision to establish a region consistent with Senate File 525. This specific position has now consolidated all accounts payable for currently the 6 counties. We just met with Tame and Grundy County yesterday, and both counties have signaled an intent to join County Social Services January 1st, and so we'll be bringing those accounts payable process through this position as well. We're also adding additional responsibility to this position in terms of finance reporting, drilling down, giving us better information to make decisions. It'll have a much stronger role in the budgeting process. So essentially, we're moving from a coordinator position to more of a autonomous management position. This position will be responsible for the Mason City office and primarily leading the process of bill paying through coordination with the staff in other offices as well. So I appreciate your consideration of this request. I think it will give us a much powerful organization moving forward.
Does this person still stay out there in your office?
Yes. And it is, this position is 100% reimbursed through the consortium.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm willing to accept a motion to approve this revised job description.
At this time, I'll make a motion to approve the revised job description for the CPC Finance Coordinator.
All right.
Second.
All right, so motion and second to approve the revised job description for the CPC Finance Coordinator. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Bob.
Bob, while you're here, have you had an opportunity to meet with any of the interested parties concerning the upcoming legislative session?
Yes, I have a lunch meeting scheduled for next Tuesday. If you'd like to attend that would be welcome.
Okay. Just inform me of when and where it's going to be.
Sure, I will do that. And then we'll have, we're actually going to have a follow-up meeting through Worth Winnebago Hancock, through their meeting. Dr. Lassise will be leading a discussion about redesign December 14th or 7th as well. So actually have 2 meetings set up.
Very briefly, just describe what redesign of the service delivery area is and what it means.
Well, fortunately, redesign as it came out of the work groups looks very much like what we've done with county social services. So it requires that counties join a minimum of, come together to form a minimum of 200,000 covered lives, maximum 700,000. There has to be at least 3 counties joined together, so a large county is not able to be a region unto itself. Within the region, you must have access to psychiatric acute care, federal qualified health clinic, mental health centers. The counties must be contiguous. The proposal is that counties will have the option to join based on their established relationships, and will have up to till March 1st of 2013 to make those decisions. But in any case, the formal relationships need to be established by July 1, 2013, which is when the current system will sunset. So there won't be a county-based system after July 1, 2013. It will be a regional based. The governing board for this will be 1 supervisor for each county. Again, the way that we've restructured it. The only significant change we'll need to make, and it's a very positive one, is we'll have to add a minimum of 3 individuals with disabilities or family members on our governing board to provide that advocacy and balance. But in no case will that represent a majority of the board. The legislature was very specific that they wanted elected officials accountable for these regions.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
These multi-counties is working well as we speak. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we'll be moving on. Thank you very much for the background. So we'll be moving along to county conservation. Josh, right?
Yeah.
And we have an annual, maybe give us a little background. It's all, you sit here once a year. It's what do we do? We're familiar with it, but a lot of the others, just give us a little background, stuff like that.
Sure.
Get to the nuts and bolts of
You bet.
specifics for your.
Yeah. Well, I represent the county's roadside management program, which is administered through the County Conservation Board in our county. And depending on where you go throughout the state, some of the roadside programs that are under the secondary road department or directly under the engineer, or they're an independent department of their own. Like I said, ours works out of the conservation department, so we work closely with the staff there as well, which helps us in monitoring, noxious weed problems, brush problems and stuff throughout the entire county. Our main responsibilities are noxious weed control in the right-of-way, and brush control in the right-of-way as well. With the assistance of the county engineer's staff, we do try and keep a hold on all the trees that are growing anywhere within the county road right-of-ways. As part of my position as a natural resource manager for the county, I'm also appointed as the county's weed commissioner. Every county in the state of Iowa has a weed commissioner. Usually they're an employee of one of the county departments. In some cases, it's just an individual who has some agronomy background or some biology background that the county supervisors have appointed into that position. We're responsible for management of 900 some miles of right away. And so we do noxious weed control in the right of way, primarily focusing on Canada thistle control, which is their most prolific weed in the county. And so we cover every mile of right of way, monitoring for weed infestations and mostly herbicide applications to try and control that.
And with that, that has an aesthetic effect for what, but, get back to the practical of it, erosion control or, culvert could directly or indirectly erode because of lack of what you're speaking of.
Right. And we try and work as closely as we can with the engineer's office to assist with seeding projects. We help keep some of the costs down of their projects. We get a lot of seed through some grants that are out there through the Iowa DOT. So we get a large portion of our seed through that, so there's not a direct cost to the county for a lot of that seed.
You got a program, you grow your own.
And we do grow our own seed. We collect usually between 1,000 to 2,000 pounds of native prairie grass and wildflower seed that we produce at Lime Creek Nature Center. We have some seed production plots there, and then we collect from right-of-way prairies that we've established as well.
Before you give your report, I want to congratulate you and everyone else on your staff that works so much with the right-of-ways, because we've noticed over the years the change that's taken place. We have, the wildflowers and the natural grass is returning to many of the areas that have no longer been populating it. And so you guys have done a great job in that respect, and you should be commended. Sometimes we don't take the time to do that, but it's very nice. Some of the areas are just almost spectacular in the summertime.
We appreciate you hearing that. And in some places it's a difficult sell to use the native vegetation because it is a little bit more costly up front to get it established. But we try and promote it that there's a functionality to it as well. It's not just for show. It's not for looks. And they're real careful in the legislature the way that they word things when it comes down to funding. They don't want to promote it as we're planting wildflowers to make the roadsides pretty. We're planting for erosion control, to promote water infiltration, to reduce erosion, to reduce winter glare when you're driving down the roadway. So there's a lot of functionality of using the native vegetation as well. So that's really what we're trying to promote.
On a personal note, we have the ability, and some of us go every year or no year, but they put on a tour.
The summer bus tour, yes.
But what I'm saying is, what I noticed, personal thing I noticed, where you've done it, you do a section, and then of course there'll be a driveway or intersection, and what I'm getting at, it kind of jumps, over 10 years going on these, it jumps over, and it goes further in what you've done.
Sure.
Like the birds carry the seed or the wind, and I see it's kind of self-enhancing, if you will.
Right.
It kind of creeps along, and but I've noticed that.
Yeah, you plant some wildflowers and stuff down my way that I go by every day when I come up here, and everybody down there kind of appreciates it. It looks nice. And
if we can get through the first two years or so of the project without a lot of complaints, we're good, because the first couple of years look pretty weedy, and it doesn't get people the immediate results that they're expecting. What we do is we usually contact all the adjacent landowners prior to doing a project, I send them a letter, we knock on doors just to let people know what we're doing, get some educational materials out to them so they know what to expect over those first couple of years. And then once we get beyond that into the third, fourth growing season and on, then we're starting to see what people were expecting of the project overall.
Okay. All right, well,
Okay.
Josh, we'll
Well, yeah,
get
with
to
that,
the
I'll-
formality here. I
Yeah,
guess.
I'll present you each with your own copy of the
Okay.
annual weed commissioners report here.
Okay.
It hasn't changed the format in numerous years here, so it probably looks familiar to you. But the first page represents all the noxious weeds that are recognized by the state of Iowa. And then they ask us to rate them as far as how prolific they are in the county, if they're present, if they're not present, if they're present and a problem, or if they're here but just not really presenting much of a problem. So the ones that we would want to look at here would be the number ones, and those are the ones that we're dealing with and trying to fight, which, like I said, notably is going to be Canada thistle, leafy spurge, purple loosestrife, and wild carrot, which is your Queen Anne's lace.
Now, what is the category or what's the mechanism for you to come up with other? Is there provision for that? I see, like if you've got something in the county that's not statewide, you got that little provision.
I think what they put that in there for is if we have what we would consider to be an invasive species, which is a
Okay.
plant that is problematic, but it's not recognized as the state as a noxious weed. If we think we have one in our county that's a big problem, this is our opportunity to put it down on paper and try and recognize that. The state weed commissioner tries to use the results that he gets from all the county weed commissioners on this to suggest any recommendations to make any changes to that
Sure.
list. And so that's what they're trying to get out of this here.
Josh, is there any particular area where you find a predominance of one of these number ones? I'm speaking specifically the wild carrot.
I'd say that most of them are fairly widespread, what we have. To say Canada thistle, for example, you're gonna find it on about every roadside in the county in some place or another. So it's pretty well widespread. Now you got something like leafy spurge, we just have a couple isolated populations of that plant, and it's usually something that's crept out into the roadside from a pasture area. A lot of times we're brought in a hay or something like that, so they're real isolated patches. Most of those are down in the southern part of the county. Wild carrot, same deal. It's pretty much spread everywhere, and that's a little bit different one because that's a biennial, so it's only a 2-year life cycle for that plant. So a lot of times we'll have a big bloom of that one year, and if you wait it out, the next year you may not see any of it. So that's why a lot of people aren't real aggressive in attacking wild carrot because it's a pretty short-lived, problematic species. The rest of the report is, like it's been in the past. They ask for a couple different, they ask if there's anything out there in your county growing that you recognize as a problem. And we have a couple plants, the wild parsnip, people are becoming pretty observant on at this point. It's the yellow flower that looks kind of the same shape as Queen Anne's lace. It's kind of a upside down umbrella shape with the yellow flower on the top. And people have a real severe allergic reaction to it if you get into it.
Mustard? Does it look like a mustard plant or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Then
The mustard
that's the
plants are
one that's-
little circular flower like that, and the
Yes.
wild parsnips are like this, and they're shaped
Okay.
like I said, an upside down umbrella,
What,
basically.
welts or?
Yeah, it's symptoms very similar to getting poison ivy.
Really?
And if you get in that stuff, it's pretty nasty. And
Okay.
so you'll see that. It's the same thing as the Queen Anne's lace. It's a biennial, so it kind of comes and goes, but that's one that is becoming more and more prolific throughout the entire state. So it's just one to kind of keep an eye on.
Okay.
Same thing as Japanese knotweed. It's just another one that can become invasive if it starts to spread. Other than that, they ask about noxious weed notices. I had 7 notices I sent to landowners for noxious weeds on private property this year.
And those get reconciled pretty readily?
For the most part, they do.
Okay.
Yeah. And most landowners are pretty cooperative about it. Sometimes you get into a little bit of a bicker back and forth between landowners, and we want to avoid trying to have that problem where someone's turning in one neighbor and then the other neighbor turns in. It's just a domino effect.
Okay.
But most of the noxious weed notices I send out are as a result of a complaint that comes to the office.
Okay.
Someone files a complaint and then I follow up on that. So. Other than that, the end of it is the herbicide usage for the year. They just compile all that data of all the different herbicides that we've used and the amount that we've applied. With that, if you don't have any questions, I'll just request that the board chair would sign my copy for me before leaving.
Sure.
Motion to approve and authorize the chair's signature.
Second?
All right, it's been motion and second to accept and authorize and sign the weed commissioner's report as of the growing year of 2011, I guess we call it. All right. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, moving along here, any other questions? Oh, we have, it's a once a year deal, you only get one shot at Josh. All right,
Yeah, I won't be back till probably next November, so.
okay. Well, moving along, letter E, we have some manure management plans, we have 2 of them, they're, I understand they're just annual, they're nothing new, so.
Both are updates.
Both are updates, they're,
I looked at them yesterday and they look fine to me, so at this time I'll make a motion to accept the reports as presented and send a copy to the DNR.
Second.
all right. It's been motion and second to accept and put on file and further on the reports to the DNR, the manure management. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Letter F, we'll just keep knocking them out here. I have none. Agreements or contract.
No.
Appointments.
No.
None.
Okay. Correspondence and communication, I have neither.
I don't, no, I haven't seen.
Okay.
Before we adjourn
Yes.
though, I would like to say that Friday is Veterans Day, so
Okay.
if any of you know veterans, thank you, Friday. They kept our country free for many, many years. So.
Thank you, Bob.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
All right, it's been motion and second in favor of adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you.